Okay, how's everybody doing today? This video is going to kind of be about, I've been asked to kind of share my background on how I got into doing dirt work and stuff like that. People want to know what kind of truck I drive, my equipment, and all that stuff. So this is kind of going to be what this video is going to be about. So a little background on myself. I worked construction for 31 years in the oil and gas industry. I was a welder for about 27 years of the 31 years. And in the last few years, I was a supervisor. I guess you'd call it superintendent, supervisor. I ran jobs, ran crews. I'd go out and draw up jobs. Not only could I weld, but I could fabricate. I can go out, I would go out, draw up jobs, design jobs, and then, order the material, all that stuff on the pipeline side. I did that when I worked on the pipeline company. So back in 2018, which I've always said whenever I got into the business of construction, I'd always said that no matter how much money I had in the bank, no matter where I was financially, when I turned 50 years old, I was going to call it quits and quit working for the man and literally just do my thing. And I tried real hard to, get to that position to where I could do that. So in 2018, I was 48 years old. I was, still doing the construction work, but I started, trying to get myself set up. I started buying equipment. So the first thing I bought was a Kubota skid steer. It was an SVL 75-2, and I would, try to get sideline jobs with it and work it and do stuff like that. By no means, was I really good at running equipment. I'm still not the best in the world. I do it good enough to get by. Back then, if I got a job that was like really critical on needing a good grade or something like that, I would actually bid the job and pay one of our operators that did it for a living. When I worked for that pipeline company, I would have them come out and pay them $300 a day, cash money, and they would do the final grade to drain or whatever. But over the years, I've gotten a little bit better at that. I'm still, trust me, I still got a lot to learn. I'm not a pro by any means. And so I kind of started doing that. And then just out of luck, the owner of the company found out that I had equipment like a skid steer, because over there we had bulldozers, big track hoes, maintainers, front end loaders and stuff like that, but every now and then they would need a skid steer. So I got lucky and I would rent the skid steer to them on certain jobs, and that kind of, I was like, well, that's kind of another revenue right there. Why not rent it? So where I keep them stored up here on the highway, I made a sign and put dirt work, of course, with my phone number, and put, rent me with my phone number. And then it got to where I was actually renting it out quite a bit. And it was just really, really too hard to work. When I worked for that company, it was so hard because I never knew when I was going to be off work. I never knew where I was going to be working. I never knew, how many hours that week. I mean, it'd come up Friday and they'd say, hey, we're working all weekend. I mean, there's been times when I worked for that company, sometimes I worked a lot of hours. 16 plus hours. So it kind of got hard to rent it out to the general public. So I got to where I just, because I couldn't say, oh yeah, I'll meet you up there after work, and then they say, hey, we got to work over, and then I'd be like, I got to call this guy and tell him. So I really felt bad about that. So I quit doing that. I quit renting to the general public for the last 2 years that I worked there, and I would only do jobs on the weekends or in the evenings when I got off work and I was available or able to, and then I would rent it out to the company itself. And so that worked out pretty good. So I got myself in a position to where, in 2020, which was during the pandemic, we were still working plenty of hours and everything, but you know, I hit that 50 mark, you know, so I turned 50 in August of 2020. And I said, you know, I told the owner of the company, you know, at the end of the year, I said, it's going to be it, man. I'm calling it quits, you know, and going on my own. Was that the smartest thing to do at that time? Probably not. It was kind of hard at first because, of course, we was right in the middle of the pandemic, and but I did have some money saved up. I did have a lot of my stuff paid off, you know, and got to where, you know, I didn't have a lot of bills, but you go 31 years of getting a paycheck every week to not getting a paycheck every week, that gets kind of stressful. And I ain't gonna lie, I got the shingles. I was like a nervous wreck, you know. I was like, you know, after about the first month of sitting around the house and not doing nothing, I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go back to work, you know, because I don't know if I can do this. But my wife, you know, 100% stood behind me and said, babe, just give it time. You know, you're okay. Everything's fine. Financially, we're okay, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I just don't know. I don't know about doing this, you know. Well, then about the first 6 months, you know, it was really, really rough. And I was still, even though I quit working for that company, they would call me and rent my skid steer. And then also when I bought the skid steer, I also bought a KX 040 Kubota mini excavator. So I would rent that out to them too, because they had the big excavators and the big, you know, stuff that, you know, you have to have an 18-wheeler to haul. They didn't really have one small enough to use on little small jobs that would, you know, you could pull behind a regular truck. So sometimes we'd have to go work up in West Texas, and it worked out perfect. Instead of trying to find a rental company or rent something that would get it all the way out to El Dorado, Texas, and, you know, out west, you know, they would just rent mine, and I'd let them rent it with the trailer, and they'd pull it up there, do their little digs that they have to do and stuff like that. And it worked out great. And to this day, I still rent to them. So you know, since 18 up till now, we're in 2022. I have 2 skid steers and 2 mini X's, two SVL 75-2s, and 2 KX 040s. One of the 75s is an air conditioned cab, so I try to use that one for myself. More than anything, I try not to let it go out on jobs, but every now and then, like right now, that pipeline company has it. I don't have a whole lot of work going on. You know, and you can see in some of my videos, I've had jobs that I've had to do that, you know, I would use the open cab one. But anyways, long story short, like I talked about in my other videos, if I don't have a job, then I'm renting my equipment out. I'm gonna make money one way or another, somehow, some way. I'll make money. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, when you work for yourself, you know, you can be picky if you want, you can be choosy if you want, but when it comes down to it, it's all about making money. I got to make money. I still do welding on the side, you know, which you can see in some of my videos. I weld up stuff for people, and you know, I still do that. I mean, that's what I know how to do. That's what I'm good at doing. So I try not to take any big jobs in the welding, because for one, I'm just, you know, getting too old. My body's broke down. I got bad knees, bad shoulders, tore bicep, rotator cuffs messed up. I mean, just eat up with arthritis and everything. So, you know, working 31 years construction, and I wasn't no pencil pusher, you know. I mean, I worked out in the field, and it was can to can't, you know, for many years. I worked 6 days a week, 12-hour days, you know, at least 10-hour days, 6 days a week for many years, and the old body really feels it, you know. But I'm not regretting it. You know, welding was a good trade. It's a good living. You know, to this day, if I had to, I could go back to work doing that. But I mean, I got supervision under my belt, so I would probably try to hire back in as a supervisor somewhere, but I really don't want the headaches, you know. If that was the case, I would have just stayed at T&L. It was a great company. It was a great place to work. It was a bunch of great guys. You know, we all got along great. We all worked together, and and had a lot of fun sometimes, and sometimes we didn't. Sometimes we, you know, got on each other's nerves and stuff. But all in all, I worked there for 15 years. It was really a good company, great experience. And if I had to, I could go back to work for them. The owner said if I ever wanted to come back, just let him know. But I'm trying to make it on my own. So that's been my goal my whole life, is to be more or less totally on my own when I turn 50. So let me get out of this truck and I'll give you a little bit of a look around at some of the stuff that I got here, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So let me get back with you in a minute. Okay, we're out of the truck. So the truck that I use to pull my equipment is a 2017 Ram 3500, and this is the old truck right here. It's got like 90-something thousand miles on it. It's a good truck. It was my son's truck. He had it. He bought it brand new, and then he decided he didn't want to drive a dually no more. And at the time, I had a Ram 3500 Laramie with loaded leather and all that stuff, and I was like, it was paid for, and so I sold it, cashed out. It was a 2018, and then I told him I'd buy his truck from him. So this is the truck that I have now. It does great. It pulls my equipment really good. I have no issues with it. Now, I would say the transmission's a little weak. If I was pulling my trailer, I got a 20-foot tilt trailer and a 20-foot Lamar regular side trailer with ramps. And if I had my equipment on there and with the hammer down on it, I could probably smoke that transmission pretty easy. Just for the simple fact that, some people tell me that some of these transmissions and some of these trucks are better than others. This is the Tradesman series. It's got that's why I wanted to, buy it from him, because I was going to use it for a work truck, and I don't like the electric four-wheel drive. It's still the four-wheel drive on the floor. I don't want the electric seats. That's just stuff that can go wrong with it. I actually pulled the back seat out of it and made it a toolbox. I carry a 30-gallon drag up tank in the back for my equipment. The equipment holds 20 gallons of diesel, so this is great. I got a bunch of my laser level, my theodolite. I got plumbing parts in there for if I break a water line somewhere or something, I can fix it on the go. I made it to where I got battery chargers that hook up to my little Jackery. This is a little 240 Jackery. This is great. Anytime, like the other day, I needed a battery. My battery was dead in my drill, so I plugged it in, charged this one up, and then this is a drawer. It's heavy, but it's full of tools in case something goes wrong. I can fix it on the fly. These are 3/8 drive sockets, wrenches, set of wrenches there, plus a regular set of box in, all the way up to 2-inch. Hammers, drills, pliers, this is a box of extensions. These are lugs for your lugs on your trailers or anything like that. If we go to the other side, so let's push this in. I need to put some kind of plastic on it. That thing's heavy. But got 100-foot tape up under here. I got a roller wheel. I got an air chuck. Let's see. I got bald tires. I need a new set of tires. These are the tires my son had on it whenever I bought it from him, so I've been trying to drive them as long as possible, until I have to buy new ones. But I got my tripod in here for my laser level. I got my stick. This is a Milwaukee grease gun to grease my equipment. And then if I pull out this side, this is a 1/2-inch set of sockets. And then I got a floor jack underneath here for jack up jumper cables, torque wrench. So I'm pretty set up to work on anything I need to, if something breaks down. And instead of having all that in the back, no one ever rides with me. So trash can for my trash. See that? My wife taught me that trick. So, okay, now let me move this out the way. I'm sorry, the camera's going everywhere. But this is my Milwaukee stuff. Now back here in the very back on each side, I got little compartments. That's where I carry my grease, extra oil, stuff like that. The compartment over there on the other side has an actual battery powered impact in it. Some other stuff, I don't know. But anyways, long story short, so that's the truck. It's a great setup. You know, it's got everything in it that I need to do a job. And it's been a great truck. I'm not gonna lie. So, got my rubber boots, which I actually got a holder for those, but I don't have it in here right now. So that's the truck. Kind of, you know, everybody knows about Kubotas. Some people love them, some people hate them. They've been great machines to me. Like I said, I got 2 SVLs, 75-2s, and 2 KX040s. And they're 9,400 pound machines. The trailers are 7,000 pound axle trailers, and the truck pulls it great, no problems. I don't really pull stuff super far. I mean, you're talking 45 minutes to an hour away at the most, and that's very seldom. You know, I don't know what else to really say. So, but I know people were asking me, you know, a little bit of my background, the equipment that I have, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to give y'all. You know, if anybody has any questions, definitely reach out to me. I don't mind helping anybody. That's what it's all about. That's why I love YouTube. I call it YouTube Academy, you know. Let me swap this thing around. All right. Yeah, that's why I call it YouTube Academy. You know, if there's something I need to learn or something I need to figure out, man, I YouTube it. And that's what got me into making these videos and stuff like that, is because I really like, you know, the community. I like, you know, communicating with people. I like talking with them. And like I said, I'm not a greedy kind of person, man. That's why I even quote, when I go to quote a job, when I go look at a job, I talk about my pricing. I talk about, you know, what things cost and everything. It's no secret. And there's a lot of people out there that don't talk about stuff like that. And, you know, I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to help anybody get started. You know, when I was in the construction business, working construction, I know when I first started out as a welder, I mean, nobody wanted to help you. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to. You had to get a job and get it on your own. You know, I went to welding trade school right out of high school. And, you know, then once you start getting contacts and meeting people, then yeah, it got easier. But this is the same way, you know. And when I got up in age, if a new welder came around and he was a young guy willing to learn, I helped him out and taught him whatever I could teach them, as long as they wanted to learn. Now, you know, of course, you run across some that, you know, don't want to learn nothing. All they want to do is weld. Well, then just be a welder, you know, do what you got to do. But me, I kind of like, you know, knowing a little bit of everything, you know, not being the best at all of it, but I mean, I did it for a living for 31 years, so I must have been pretty decent at it. But same way with this, you know, there's a lot of, you know, you see these guys running around, and where I live down here, I'm telling you, it's everybody and their brother and sister got skid steers and equipment, stuff like that. And I talk to them, you know, they don't want to talk to me. I'll try to talk to them. And I even tell them, I say, hey man, you know, if you need help, let me know. You know, if you get a job and, you know, you need help for just one day or something like that, you know, give me a call. You know, same way with me. I've got guys that if I can't get to it, I give them a call and go, hey man, I'm really busy. You know, you want to knock this job out for me? And I've done it for, you know, customers that are really good customers that I've made money off of. And, you know I'm taking a chance on them stealing my business, but hey, you know, I don't mind helping them out. You know, it's just a chance you take. You know, it is what it is. You know, just like when I started renting out this equipment, there's a rental company right down the road from me, and man, they sicked the city inspector on me and called the comptrollers on me and come in here and told they thought that this plumbing business here was the ones renting it out, and it's not. And they said, man, you can't be renting equipment. I'm like, he said, what? I said, this is America, man. I mean, it's the, you know, opportunity for everybody to make it. You just got to get out and make it. And that's why I don't mind helping anybody. I'm not mean to anybody unless, you know, they're an asshole to me. Excuse my language, you know, but I ain't gonna take that, you know what I mean? If you're nice to me and talk to me like a grown man, I'm gonna talk to you like a grown man, and I'll help you do anything, man. I mean, I got buddies that have equipment, and real good friends, and they got into it after I got into it, and we work together, you know what I mean? He would get on a job and he needs my help, I'll help him, you know. And I got another friend of mine that used to be my neighbor. You know, he had a couple of skid steers and stuff like that, and when I couldn't get the job, I'd give it to him, man. You know, I don't mind helping, and that's what it needs to be more like, you know, because we're all getting older, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. You know, you need to make a living, and you don't want nobody. There are people that come out here that undercut and you know, don't charge anything. Well, hey, if that's the way they do their business, that's the way they do their business. You can't do nothing about that. It's like I told my kids, I know I'm rambling on here, but you can only control what you can control. If you can't control it, you can't let it consume you, and it's their business plan. They charge what they want, but that don't make you go down on your prices, man. You got to charge what works for you, and it's the same thing. So, but anyways, I can sit here and ramble on about that because it kind of makes me mad, you know, because people get like that sometimes. But anyways, I just wanted to show a little quick video. I've been asked, you know, to give a little bit of a background on myself and what my equipment is, what my truck is, and all that stuff. So I hope everybody's doing good out there. I know times are crazy, but just hang in there, man. Just do the best you can do. So if anybody needs any help or want to answer any questions, want me to answer any questions, I'll try to do my best. I mean, if I don't know it, I'll call some people and find out, and we'll try to figure it out anyways. So, but I hope everybody's doing good. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and all that junk, you know. I'm really new at the YouTube stuff. I'm not a great video guy and all that, but I mean, I try. That's all I can do. So everybody take care. I'll see y'all on the next one.